अगर आपका जीएस फाउंडेशन का कोर्स अप्रैल के महीने तक चल रहा है और आखिरी के महीनों में 2 से 3 क्लासेस पैरेलली चल रही है, तो there's a very logical question that how you're going to write the pre of that year.
Most foundation program mainly focus prelims examination. Rather, good foundation program should focus both prelims and mains examination in the form of coverage of the static, dynamic and applied part.
We finish the course at least 100 days before the pre of that year.
आज आपको ये भी याद रखना है कि जो फैंटास्मागोरिया जो सोशल मीडिया का मायाजाल है उससे भी आपको बचना है ताकि आपका प्रिपरेशन सही दिशा में चल सके।
Let's do a foundation that works for you.
Clear direction.
Timely delivery.
Strong foundation.
Vanakkam, dear brothers and sisters. Myself Sivachandran. I have secured All India rank 23 in the recently concluded UPSC Civil Services Examination 2024. I have scored 96 in my General Studies 3 paper. Generally, it is considered the 96 marks is considered more than average marks. So I thought it would be beneficial and in the best interest of all the aspirants if I could share the few things which I know with respect to the preparation, the book list and the answer writing strategies for GS3 paper. So firstly, coming to the syllabus of GS3 paper, the topics have been divided into 20 as per the UPSC syllabus sheet. So broadly it can be classified into the Indian economy, agriculture, science and technology, disaster management and internal security and environment. So these are the broad topics in GS3 paper. I'll go in a graded manner. Firstly, covering the sources that I use. Secondly, covering the specific tips for writing answers in GS3 paper. And thirdly, covering all the other aspects associated with the paper, the miscellaneous aspects of the paper. Firstly, the source. Going to the economics component, the Indian economics component, the basic book that I firstly followed was the NCERT books and the macroeconomics and microeconomics. Though they are not highly relevant towards examination perspective, they serve as the foundation for future readings because we'll be studying other standard books for the UPSC examination. In order to understand them and appreciate the content that is given in those standard books, it is very important that we understand the basic concepts and topics that is given in the 12th standard and the 11th standard NCERT economics book. So since I was from the commerce stream in school, I studied economics and I always found the subject easier because of my fundamental understanding. So it is very important to have this, pick up this fundamental ideas correctly, and for that these basic books, the 11th and 12th NCERT books will help you a lot. Once you complete that, there are several standard books in the market that can be used. I have known friends, I used a particular book and my friends use different books, and there is no hard and fast rule, only X book or Y book should be used. At the initial stages of preparation, I used a book that was authored by Mr. Ramesh Singh, Indian Economy by Ramesh Singh. A few of my friends used books that were authored by Sanjeev Verma, and recently there are books in the market that has been authored by Mr. Nitin Singhania, by Mr. Vivek Singh. So all these are standard books. They have good quality content and have also comprehensively covered all the topics that are relevant for UPSC civil services and also for other competitive examinations. So this is the firstly book list. Coming to science and technology, this is for economics. Then coming to science and technology, I made my own set of notes because the topic science and technology is quite dynamic because every year new kinds of technology keep coming up. So it is very difficult to keep ourselves restricted to a particular book list. That is, an older book will not be relevant from the examination perspective, because if you are going to refer the previous year questions in the GS3 paper for as far with respect to the science and technology topic, you will see that the questions that are asked would be relevant for that particular year, because a new innovation would have come up in the industry or in the market that would have been tested. So studying a particular static book wouldn't be helpful. In this regard, I relied on the science page of The Hindu. Every day you have a new invention or a new research publication that has been discussed in detail. So there are certain topics that would have been covered very comprehensively and would have been of a highly advanced level So it is not necessary that we go into such depths and such advanced knowledge, but a basic understanding of what has been discussed and noting them down will definitely help us in answering questions of these type. And also we'll regularly be covering current affairs from different coaching institutes. There as well, they would have divided topics into different subjects and studying the science and technology topic in the current affairs will also help us keep updated in this regard. Secondly, with respect to environment, I used the PMFIA's publication. It had a good visual representation of different topics. For example, the nitrogen cycle, sulfur cycle. So all these were very clearly explained using visual aid in the textbook. So that helped me memorize the concepts better. So that was the book that I used. Then for internal security, once again I had my own notes based on different current affairs topics, and also the compilation released by coaching institutes. Time and again, coaching institutes release different compilations that are free of cost. For example, during the mains time, Vision releases something called the Mains 365. ONDIS releases something called Prahar. So all these texts are standard, and they try to cover all the current topics in whatever topic we are discussing about. So once you go through it, there will be certain topics which you haven't covered before. Those things you can always pick it up. You can always try to make notes of it along with value addition that can be used during your revision stages. Then there are certain topics wherein you will have to take up data and value adding points. For example, topics in agriculture, economics, value addition is of utmost importance. For these topics, I used economic survey and the Indian budgetary documents. So they have comprehensive set of data which can be used in different papers, GS2, GS3, GS4, and can also be interlinked among different concepts and areas. Disaster management is another topic in GS3. It is quite easy to cover the topic. Firstly, we have to cover the different kinds of disaster, the precautionary measures towards them, and the recent data associated with them and how they have evolved over a period of time. For example, we see cyclones intensifying in the recent days, cyclones becoming unpredictable in the recent times. So data in this regard will be very helpful. For this, we can divide our entire notes into different kinds of disasters. For this, content can be taken from websites such as that of NDMA's website. So you have comprehensive content given in them. And after one part being the different kinds of disaster completed, second thing would be the different policies that are extensively being followed at the international level as well as at the national level in order to prepare the community for disaster, mitigate these disasters, and also for rehabilitation and reconstruction after a particular disaster has occurred. Thirdly, all the legal frameworks and good understanding about them. In the Indian case, we have the Disaster Management Act, so within which we have different institutions, different setups such as the Disaster Response Force. We have the National Disaster Mitigation Fund and the Response Fund. Good understanding about how all these things are working and how these can be even more streamlined in the coming years based on the evolving nature of disasters will help us give better answers. Above all, so for this I had notes. I did not follow any particular material. I used websites such as that of NDMA, Down to Earth, and also data that was given time and again in the newspapers for making my own notes. I had 5 to 6 pages notes for this topic. Book lists have been covered, that is the source from which I have prepared for GS3 has been covered. Next is answer writing, the most important component. There is a general misnomer that GS3 is a very challenging paper, and GS3 is a paper wherein the scoring scale is very stringent and it is very difficult to score. The one common reason why people I feel are unable to score in the subject are due to the generic nature of answers that are being given. What happens in GS3 paper is that the static points are very easy to generate and they appear to be very generalized and not argumentative. So these points appear as if we are talking in there. So when if we are to substantiate these different points with visual aids, data, facts, examples, case studies, our answers would be more substantive our answers would convey a point to the examiner that we are not somebody who have a superfluous knowledge in this subject, but we have profound and deep knowledge, prompting them to give us better scores. So it is always important that we give specific points to our answers, and the specific points comes with the value addition. For this value addition, I worked by making notes. I divided the entire UPSC GS3 syllabus into 20 topics. I just copy pasted whatever has been given in UPSC syllabus sheet. They are given 20 topics, starting from agriculture, irrigation, investment models, infrastructural development and growth, and so on. So for all these different topics, I tried to make a value addition. For this value addition, I used different sources. First and most important was newspapers. These value additions were not these value addition points. I picked them up not in a single day, but it was done over a period of time, for months and for years together. I used to follow the newspaper every day, and every different day some interesting topic or data used to come up in news articles in the newspapers or in the online news feeds. I used to pick them up. I used to jot them down under the particular UPSC syllabus topic under the GS3 notebook. Those things I consolidated a few days before the mains examination, which I revised it multiple times so that I could recollect and remember them in the exam pressure environment. And I also use this data for multiple mock tests. So because it is not only important if we are to memorize these data, but it is also important that we are able to replicate in the examination, unless or else everything goes waste. For this, I use them in multiple mock tests and also revise them so that I was able to recollect them at the required time. So answer writing, first important thing which I had stated was being more specific with value addition. Second is the speed. Speed is very important aspect for GS3, because at times we'll have to give certain answers that are analytical in nature. We may have to do good brainstorming before attempting the question. So time becomes a key factor in the examination. In order to counter this limited time factor, the only possible way out is practice, practice and practice. As we keep writing more and more answers, our expertise in completing a particular paper within the given time frame goes up. It becomes like a muscle memory and automatic. We don't have to generate new points every time we look at a question, but it all starts coming automatically. So the only strategy which I prescribe for completing a particular paper within the time frame is to write as many tests as possible. If possible, even to go for daily answer writing. Maybe you can attempt 7 questions every day. I used to follow this regimen. Right before the mains examination, we had 95 days. Of the 95 days, I utilized the 70 to 75 days for daily answer writing. For GS3, I used 20 to 25 days, wherein I used to write 7 questions, 4 10 markers and 3 15 markers, 85 marks in 1 hour. That used to be my daily answer writing regimen. This definitely helped me in completing my paper on time. We were discussing about the reasons as to why people find the GS3 paper challenging and least scoring because of the generic nature of answer writing and the need for being more specific, substantiating and value adding. So now comes the next question as to the source from where we can do this value addition. And again, as I discussed before, newspaper used to be one important component. Apart from newspaper, there are few documents like the economic survey, the union budget documents, which are gold mine of data information. They provide comprehensive data. They provide data on multiple topics, reading which we can substantiate points that we write in GS paper 3, GS paper 1, GS paper 2, GS 4, and also possibly in paper 1, that is financial markets topic in paper 1 of commerce and accountancy, and also other options. Commerce and accountancy was my option, so I gave a mention about it. It can also be used for other optional subjects. So I would suggest that few topics in the economic survey such as agriculture, industries, services sector, glimpse of the Indian economy, the external sector can be gone through not from the summarized text that is released by the coaching institutes, but from the bare text of the economic survey, so that we get an end-to-end understanding of such topics, and also about the important data that would be relevant in the GS3 paper, because most of the questions that are tested in GS3 paper from the economic topic are those that are relevant from the current event perspective, that are given great importance by the government, and these topics are very well covered in the economic survey. So as you read it, you will subconsciously build a very good understanding of all the contemporary economic issues, and also build a strong fundamental understanding about the data that you need to be giving. Value addition not only involves data and facts, but also visual aids can be used. For example, I used to use pie chart, revenue sources, the expenditure destinations of Indian government can be depicted by way of bar diagrams. Different visual aids can be used for making your answer more attractive. A particular thing wherein you write number, if you have to put it in visual terms, but in a crisp and concise manner, will add a better value, and will add a better aesthetic component to your answer writing. So these things will definitely help you in scoring that additional 5 to 10 marks in GS3 paper, increasing your competitiveness, helping you find your name in the final rank list. And for GS3 papers, I observed that there are certain topics which are often repeated in the examinations. When we take topics such as agriculture, irrigation patterns, public distribution systems, then food processing industries, there are certain topics which keep getting repeated. So it is important that we identify those topics and do a very good reading of them. And for identifying those regularly repeated topics, PYQs will help you to a great extent. If you are to give a brief and cursory look through the PYQs, you can very well identify those topics. This thing apart, there is also an important need to do good revision of the previous year questions as far as GS3 is concerned, because it helps you in understanding as to how the questions are framed. As you see more and more previous year questions, your ability to write answers to all the GS3 questions in the coming examinations will be definitely enhanced. Thank you, dear friends, listening to me patiently. I am very sure that these several points that I have discussed with you will help you towards your GS3 paper preparation. I wish you all the best for you, and I'll definitely see you on the other side of the line. You will all be successful, and once again, all the best for your upcoming examinations.